welcome back. Last week I told you that this week we would do something with pumpkins or butternut squash, something from the gardens, something from the farmer's market. And today we're going to make pumpkin or butternut squash nachos. So this is something I think the whole family can enjoy on a Sunday afternoon or a Friday night watching a movie. I think they'll find it a real treat if you can provide this for your siblings or your parents or grandparents. So let's get started. I chose to go with a butternut squash, but let's look at our recipe first. We're going to use 2 cups of cubed fresh pumpkin or butternut squash, 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 13 ounces of tortilla chips. That's just a big bag of tortilla chips of your choice. 1 can of black beans, rinsed, or you can use pintos or a bean of your choice. Today I chose to use anasazi beans because I had them. 1 cup of salsa of your choice, and 2 to 3 cups of Mexican cheese blend. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is, I'm going to do this from scratch. I want to show you, I cut the butternut squash in half, and I took the inside out, which you guys can do. You just scoop, you know how to do that. You clean pumpkins when you make jack-o'-lanterns. And then we're going to peel like so. And this is really not that hard, but if you don't feel comfortable doing this, maybe you can ask a parent or an adult to help you. The other way you could do it is cutting it off, but I find that this way there's less accident. It's less accident prone this way. The other thing you can do, you're going to watch me cut this now too. Make sure you have a flat side, and then just go down. Just cut straight down into it, and you'll get a nice rectangle. That's exactly what you want, because that just makes it really easy to cut this into chunks for your pumpkin or butternut squash nachos. And here we're going to press down, fingers out of the way. This one I think we can also probably do in half. Now, the key here is just to make them about the same size so that they cook evenly. All right, and then these guys, we're going to say, I would say these are about half inch squares. As long as they're the same size, and you want something that you can actually, you can eat on top of a chip. You don't want it so big that it will be cumbersome and clumsy. So now we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of our olive oil, and I'm just going to kind of pour the olive oil over the top. And I'm going to take I actually would like to use my fingers because it's just as easy. Here we go. Just make sure all of these nice little pieces of pumpkin are coated, or pieces of butternut squash are coated. And then take a little bit of salt. She says about 1/2 teaspoon. You definitely want to season it so you give it some flavor. And then a little bit of pepper on top. And we're going to put this in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. I'm going to put it in the oven right now. And I have one already prepared. So I'll bring it out. And this is what your butternut squash or pumpkin should look like. You kind of want that little bit of golden brown. You want it to caramelize a little bit. You certainly don't want it raw because it does not taste good when it's raw. This actually, cooking it like this brings out all the sweetness, and it's really delicious. So now let's take our tray of chips, and I lightly oiled this tray just so it wouldn't stick. And this is about 1/2 of a bag because I'm making another batch. So at this point, we're going to take, let me grab my glove. The first thing you're going to do is put your pumpkin on top of your chips. You just kind of spread the chips over the pan, and you kind of try to get the pumpkin spread around too. You kind of want to sprinkle it everywhere, and you can let it cool. I'm doing it with hot pumpkin, but you can let it cool and do this when it's a little bit more easy to handle. Already you can see we've got some beautiful color here. Let's spread this around a little bit. And then take the beans that you've chosen, and I chose to use anasazi just because I cooked them last night and they were delicious. Make sure if you use canned that you drain it. You don't want all that liquid on top of your nachos. So here we go. You got your beans, you got your pumpkin, At this point, you take your cup or so of salsa, and you're going to put the salsa, and that's, you use your choice too. I just happen to have paste in the house, so that's what I'm using today. And after you finish with that, you sprinkle on your cheese blend. And you can always use more cheese than I've mentioned if you want it super cheesy, which I know most of you probably will. So here we go. We've got all of our cheese on there. This is really very easy. One thing I want to mention too, if you don't want to cut up your own butternut squash or your own pumpkin, you can buy it pre-cut at Walmart, at any store. And it comes pre-cut, packaged, cleaned, and just ready to go. So at this point, we're going to put this in a 325-degree oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. So let me put it in the oven. And over here, I actually have one already finished. This is it coming out of the oven, and it looks so good. So here we've got our pumpkin, we've got the beans, we've got the salsa, the cheese, and at this point, you can add whatever you want. Sprinkle it with cilantro, put some green onion on there to give it a little bit of color. I like black olives, so I'm going to put some black olives on mine, sliced black olives. You can add your favorite hot sauce. I have some really good hot sauce here, but I'm not going to add that right now. The other thing I was thinking of is, I know you all love sour cream. So you can just take and, do a little squirt of sour cream like that on the top, and voila, you've got your pumpkin nachos there to share with the whole family. So let's take a little, I don't know where to begin. Take a little bite. Oh God, this looks great. I'm just going to take a little smidgen of it. You can make a meal out of this. Delicious. So you guys enjoy this one. Have fun with it. I'm anxious to hear how it turns out for you all on Thursday, and add the toppings of your choice, and we'll meet up and compare. See you soon.